Lunchbox is brought to you by Stromboli Pizza Kitchen at the Fountains of Plantation.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the frim fram sauce with the awesome fave with shafafa on the side.
Hello, everybody, and good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. And we're changing it up today. We are at a Stromboli's, but we're not at the one in Plantation. We're up in Boca Raton, and we are having a celebration. Again, it is time for more pizza, more Panthers, more fun, and we're going to get us loaded up on the Let's Eat South Florida group. But my phone is misbehaving again, but well, that's okay. We're with Angelique, and Nick Maltese is going to join us in a second. And again, it's been a week of celebration and pizza eating. And Angelique, how are you today? Welcome back to the Lunchbox. Always good to see you.
Great. My voice is a little raspy from celebrating and screaming and all the fun stuff to do with the Panthers.
Now, we're going to talk with Nick. I understand that, I guess, you missed Game 7,
Yes.
and you guys have been season ticket holders for a long time? Or?
Yeah.
I was going to come in with the final call, and I was like, let me not rub it in.
Yeah. Yes, I had nationals for my daughter's dance. So
Oh,
I
you
had
up
to.
that Wide World of Sports complex at Disney?
I was at the Omni
Hmm.
up in Disney, which is like a nice resort. They have a convention center, and it was like all the best teams, all the best dances, but I had to miss the Stanley Cup.
Oh, you didn't miss,
But my husband went, and
you didn't
his
miss much. It's
friends.
just,
the
winning their first
history.
championship.
Just like the biggest historical event.
Now, is this something that you're going to be able to like hold over
Oh, yeah.
Nick's head for life and say, you went to the game and I had to miss it because I was
Yeah.
being the parent that took the
Yeah,
kids
well,
to the dance.
He played me. He was like, I'm not going to go without you. He's like, we'll just sell them. We'll make back some of our money, whatever. And then I'm like, I have some interest. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to go.
Oh, no, when you were out of town and it was too late for you to do anything about it.
And I'm like, so during the finals, my daughter's recital. I left her recital, and all the moms are like, it's okay. Like, she was in three recitals, but they're like, just go. We would go. Don't worry. It doesn't like make you look bad. So I left in the middle of the recital, but nationals I couldn't. It was way too big.
So, all right, now we've got Nick joining us, and he was there again. We're at Stromboli's Pizza Kitchen. Oh, and now we have our first spill, and that's okay because we. It's been one of those weeks.
Sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
You don't want to have special pizza.
Now, we got enough other specialty slices here. Welcome back to the Lunchbox, Nick. I guess you are still, a little hungover from the celebration.
Oh, man, it was a great experience.
Yeah.
Once in a lifetime.
Now, again, you are longtime season ticket holders.
Yep.
What was the emotions like for you to be there in the flesh while your wife is with your kids elsewhere?
I know. It was very exciting. I was hoping that that we would put him out. I guess the fourth game. We didn't. But I knew going back home on the seventh game, that these guys had to do it, and they were they were fighting for their lives. I mean, they were they stopped McDavid. I mean, that was the biggest thing. I guess they had to do.
Let me move
And
this.
that they stopped McDavid, and that was the and the defense pulled up.
Now, I want to get
Now,
into
Big Bob made it. He made some major
No,
saves.
Bob was fantastic.
Yeah.
I do want to get into some
That's for
bigger
Gigi.
hockey
That's for
talk,
Gigi.
but first I do want to talk some food and pizza here because we're at Stromboli's. I guess you call this your secondary or satellite location. Well, it's just Boca.
West
Yeah,
Boca,
yeah, yeah,
West
yeah.
Boca
location. The original has been in the Fountains shops and Plantation for over it's like 30 years,
35 years.
35 years. That's well entrenched in the community. And this time we figured we'd come up to West Boca, and you just tell us the history of this shop. You just kind of took it over a couple of years ago.
We took it over a year ago.
Yeah.
It was a friend of mine's shop. It was Jimmy Brooklyn Pizza, which was a good shop. And then my friend bought it, and he kept it for about 6 months, and he sold it to me. And we ventured off over here, and we're trying to get the community, to get used to, just all our style of pizza, all our style of food, and it's slowly growing.
Nice. And, this area of West Boca, this still feels like one of the sixth borough of New York. It's a lot of ex-New Yorkers. I met a couple that was in here right before we started. One was from Long Island, one was from Brooklyn. And, so if you pass muster with those folks, I imagine you're doing pretty well. In terms of
they
the
definitely.
Real New Yorkers don't mess around with pizza.
There's a lot, West Boca has a lot of New Yorkers.
Yes, it does. And you've got the whole variety of slices here, which you see at a, corner slice shop in Brooklyn. Like, this is something Lubie had never seen before. I'm familiar with it. It didn't used to be a thing like when I was growing up, but I'd say in the last 20 years, a lot of these shops have started putting baked ziti or penne alla vodka on your slice.
That's a penne alla vodka slice.
It's a penne alla vodka. Describe, I guess, how and when did this become a thing, and do you approve of the double carb involved?
I mean, I approve people eating good.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what I approve. Yeah, it's definitely a popular slice. Rigatoni alla vodka pizza.
It's good.
It's real good.
And it's something before it became a thing in pizza parlors formally, it's something I used to do when I was drunk late at night. When this is hard to believe. But
Shocker.
Like in college and maybe my youth, when I would get pizza and I'd have just a cheese or mushroom pizza, and I would have some leftover pasta, either the penne or a plain spaghetti, and I would just kind of put that on the slice and a little bit of sauce and then throw it in the oven for the reheating. And there's something about, probably because I'm a carbaholic.
I was going to say it's a lot of carbs.
But
That's a good way to put it.
Something very satisfying about having that layer of pasta with a little bit of more cheese and sauce on top of your basic pizza slice. So I'm going in for another bite, not a big bite, but
yeah, you
not a Mike
usually
Mayo
make big
bite.
bites. A Mike Mayo bite's like a whole.
Yeah, that's the whole pizza.
That's an alligator bite.
He doesn't want to scare me again.
I'm trying
Exactly.
to behave myself. That's a good slice. And, you guys here, let's give the address. It's
9874 Yamato Road.
so it's right before you get to 441 on Yamato.
West Yamato. Yep.
West Yamato. And, it's your classic New York style pizza joint where you can get by the slice, by the pie, all kinds of specials, the same specials that you run at the
Everything the
Fountains.
same. It's the same menu.
Lunch
Exact
specials
menu.
are a great
Nice.
deal. See a couple of folks in here enjoying it. Big
Yep.
bowl of minestrone soup over there, some garlic rolls. This is all decked out with the what you would call the Brooklyn motif. Up above, you got some murals, Brooklyn Bridge. You can't really see it because we're focusing on the pizza, but the Wonder Wheel, Coney
So
Island,
cute,
where I always
yeah.
spent a lot of time. My parents first met and was dating. They would go down to the Wonder Wheel in Coney Island. So it brings back fond memories. I see Napoli Bakery. I had a bakery in my neighborhood on Avenue N called Aliota Bakery. Some great stuff. So, well done in here. It looks nice.
Yes.
It's super cute.
It is super cute. All right. Let's go back to hockey for a second because there's something that was bothering me. That would be the Conn Smythe Trophy. When you were in the crowd there celebrating, were you a little bit shocked when Gary Bettman announced the winner of
Yeah, I was.
A losing team.
And the gentleman didn't even come out, didn't even get his trophy.
He didn't even come out for his trophy. And again, in the NHL, it's different. It's not just the MVP of the finals. It's for the whole four
The whole
rounds of the
series.
playoffs.
It's not the place or the time to do that. I don't think.
No.
No,
When
no,
you're
it-
so
it-
Usually
losing.
they award it to somebody on the winning team.
Especially since the winning team had
Yeah,
good
it's
players.
so
Bobrovsky played out of his
weird.
freaking
He
mind.
should have won that.
So he had earned it.
So here's the
mean-
thing.
And I'm tough on Bobrovsky. I'm really tough on Bobrovsky.
I
And
used-
even I realized the guy had earned that award.
I used to be a sports writer / columnist, and I am now going to make my case for why they completely, muffed this up. I guess it's done by balloting by hockey writers, and they collect the ballots before the game is over.
Oh, geez. Are you
And-
serious?
The rumor I heard was that it was like they were collecting the ballots 10 minutes out, 5 minutes out. And meanwhile, I don't know why it can't just be electronic and tabulate it after the game ends. And here's the thing. Bobrovsky, okay, he had a lapse in those 3 losses, which made things very dicey. But the Panthers won 16 games in the playoffs, right? Do you know in 8 of those games were 1 goal allowed or less?
I know.
8 of the 16 were 1 goal allowed or less, including 2 shutouts that were game 1's shutouts to set the tone of the series in the Rangers and against the Oilers. And all 4 clinching games, all 4 closeout games were 1 goal games. So that's a guy who's pretty valuable, I'd say.
I would say.
And
They held all the stars. It's funny. I know what McDavid did in those 2 games was something Gretzky didn't do, but he did nothing the rest of the series. And he had lots of, it wasn't just a defense. He had tons of opportunities. And it was literally Bobrovsky versus Panarin. He did that.
And
Versus,
they shut him out game 7.
oh, wow, here's a big calzone is making its
Oh,
way here.
Jesus.
Just drop it right on the table there. We're good.
Holy mackerel.
So my argument is this, that you can say that Bobrovsky had some bad games, but that McDavid also was invisible and erased for a whole bunch of games. And that because of that, it's basically you're looking at a draw in terms of McDavid was invisible at points and Bobrovsky was mediocre at points.
Yes.
But all told, who was the winning team and who was most valuable to that team? And I'm going to say Bob.
by a lot.
And Bob
100%.
deserved it.
I thought he was. I thought when he announced it,
It's so off. It's so off. It's such a weird time to do something like that if it's for the losing team. I wouldn't have came out and got it. I wouldn't.
No,
have
that's
came-
what there's a he was actually. I appreciate
either.
McDavid. I don't think it was a slight. I think he realized it wasn't his
It wasn't
moment.
his time, yeah.
They lost, and he let them have their moment. What I don't understand is how do you not take Game 7 into account?
Exactly.
Like Bobrovsky, literally until the last second,
Yeah, you're not
was
taking
playing
the
his
last 5
butt
minutes
off.
into
Like
account.
They must have really thought the Oilers were going to win.
I don't know. It's really
Oh,
weird.
well, the
but
Canadians
really-
came there, and they were.
how was
I mean,
that? It felt like there was a decent amount of Oiler fans, and they weren't there the other 3 games.
So we sit in the
No.
section where where you can see the other team play. I mean, it's like a visitation.
Yeah.
So there was probably 200 in front of me.
Mhm.
Excuse me, Montreal.
His best friend's Canadian. He's so
And I kept saying, "Go home, go home. This is not a Oilers zone."
Exactly. Yeah.
I like to go down there and kick him out of our seats.
Nice.
So
Nice.
it's funny because all of Canada adopted the Oilers
Yeah, I love
because
that.
Canada, no team from Canada has won the cup since the 93 Canadiens. So it's funny because teams that are normally like just hating on the Oilers, all of a sudden we're hating on Florida and the United States even more. It becomes a nationalistic thing. And I understand Canada is the birthplace of hockey. And now to see all these Florida teams, parading around the cup,
I love it.
it must
I think
really
it's
be
great.
hard.
Put us on the map.
And the thing is, all right, fine. If you want to get the consolation prize and give McDavid his Conn Smythe trophy, I would call it con job
Yes,
trophy because
honestly.
it's a total con, and they just don't want to give Florida the credit that it's
That's
due.
what
I
it
will,
was.
I will say, when we won, they didn't leave. They were sitting there. They
Oh,
were
interesting.
respecting the fact that we won, and they were just.
And
Interesting.
I
All hanging
left
out.
when
They do respect the game.
Well, that's the thing is I can't besmirch the Oilers. I mean, both teams, first of all, gave their guts. And look to the last, the whole third period was a frigging war. And the fact that there was a respect. You saw right after McDavid waited to shake all of his team, and he shook everyone's hand on the other
By
team.
the way,
Of course.
isn't the handshake the best
The handshake line.
tradition in sports in hockey?
Yeah.
It's one thing where
You beat the crap out of each other, and then you say, good game.
And it's great sportsmanship. It just shows respect for the game and each other. And at the end of the day, you have to accept the results and not claim that there was any, rigging,
Foul play.
foul play.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, there wasn't any bad calls that game. They were, they only had like 1 or 2. They had what? I think
Three total. The
total.
Kachuk one was weird, where
yeah.
he was laying on the ground and
Right,
they called
sprawling
a
out.
tripping.
They had 3 power plays.
They
But
had
they stayed out of the way. They stayed out of the way.
they had it in against Kachuk the whole series, from the embellishment call to like all of a sudden when you go flying down the ice, somehow that's a penalty. What was that call on that one anyway in Game 7 when
The guy slipped. It
he
wasn't even.
slipped? Yeah, so
When he was on the ice, they called
Yeah.
it tripping,
it was tripping, but
but it wasn't on
he tri-
purpose.
But he was the one who ended
No.
up splayed
And
out.
he got tripped and then was just rolling on the ice.
Yeah, all right, that's bizarre, and it's water under the bridge at this point.
Yep.
And Now it brings us to the whole celebrations, and this is another thing that I love about hockey that makes it the coolest sport is the way the cup has actually been making appearances throughout
On
town.
the beach.
Elbow room and the shots of it was
The
Kachuk
ocean.
and Sam Bennett
Into
and
the
the
ocean.
backup
I love
goalie.
that.
No, but when they're like pouring the beer from the
Yeah, they're
balcony,
drowning people. Yeah.
and
Oh,
like
yeah.
people are like opening their mouths trying to catch the beer from the cup. That's classic Fort Lauderdale,
That's
I
right
crazy.
there.
know.
And then they bring it into the ocean for a little bit of a dunk. And then it kind of brought up some discussion of like, is this the real cup? Is this a facsimile cup that they use?
'Cause they're
after
so
the
cool with
game?
letting them-
So I would
Um,
think it was not the real.
Well, no, I did some research today
Is
because
it?
I something online about like this is like they actually have another cup that they let them parade. But there's 3 cups out there.
Okay.
But the cup that was at the elbow room and in the ocean and then ended up last night at Greek Isles Taverna in the Fort Lauderdale A1A area there. That's a very popular Greek restaurant. That is actually the cup that was brought out and
Really?
presented on the ice. It's called the presentation cup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. That makes
The original
sense.
Stanley Cup, which was created 130 something
132
years ago,
They're not
actually
dunking in the
was
water.
retired
Mhm.
in 1970 because
Okay.
in the 60s it started getting a little brittle.
Yeah.
So that resides permanently at the Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto, Canada.
Okay.
That's called the original cup. That doesn't leave Toronto. Then they have what's known as the presentation cup, which is what you
Right.
saw on the ice and what the guy with the white gloves, who's the keeper of the cup, that gets brought down and given to the winning team. They get to actually have it and celebrate with it for 100 days.
Oh,
after the
really?
cup.
They get because everyone gets
So
it for at least a
everybody
day.
gets a day
So
with it
we're gonna see it.
at
We're
some
gonna
point.
rub
I'm hoping.
And
Yeah,
this
that's
is
we're
my
gonna rub
hope.
the genie out for sure.
It makes it the People's Cup. So you
Yeah.
actually
Yep.
have a chance to take a
Well,
selfie
it's
with
what
it.
Marie said. Marie said you don't win the cup, you share the cup.
Yeah.
And the last few days, I've really because look, we are removed from when other teams win. I don't really pay attention to what happens. I know they do
Yeah.
crazy stuff. That's why what they're doing with it, I don't think is disrespectful. I think it's literally in the tradition of the cup.
Yeah.
Wherever
Yeah.
they are, if it's in Colorado, they're taking
Yeah.
it to the freaking ski slopes and they're skiing with the thing.
Yeah.
Like, so why wouldn't we take it to the beach?
I had friends that were rubbing it on the beach.
That's so
I had
cool.
friends that went to met all the players after
Yep.
they won.
Yeah.
I have they're definitely involving all
It
the
just feels like
fans.
it's for and of the community,
Yeah.
which is really cool.
Exactly.
It's a cool thing, and it's going to be, again, in the hands of various players and staffers for the, I guess, next 3+ months. And I guess they time it out so that it sticks around until the season opener. So then when they
Yep.
have, the banner raising ceremony,
Oh,
they also
that's
have
what
the
it
cup
is.
on hand. And then that presentation cup goes back to the Hall of Fame in Toronto. Now,
so
while
it goes back to Canada.
while the presentation cup
It's on loan
Yeah.
to us. Yeah.
while the presentation cup is here at the Hockey Hall of Fame, besides having the original cup, isn't this fascinating? They also have something, I guess, that's known as the permanent cup, and that also is displayed at the Hockey Hall of Fame when the presentation cup
Yes.
is off
Out.
site.
Okay, that makes sense.
And that permanent cup, it's interesting, is basically also for display when the presentation cup gets dinged up, or maybe there'll be some oxidation after being in the ocean if they
Putting
need to
beer.
restore it or do some polishing. So that permanent cup stays in the display case while the presentation cup sometimes has to be repaired. And the permanent cup also has the ring of names for the different people, the players and the staff for each winning team.
Longo gets a ring or
Yeah,
something.
well, Luongo
They all
maybe
do.
will get his
They all
name
get
on there
it.
because they allow a certain number of key personnel, front office staff to get on there. And that gets engraved on both the presentation cup and the permanent cup. And they double check the spelling on the permanent cup.
I
'cause
heard there was mistakes though.
there's mistakes
Yeah.
on the presentation cup, but
Yeah.
then the official permanent cup gets the correct spelling.
Okay, so it's like
All
the
these
draft.
fun facts about the cup that I never even bothered to learn when
It's
the
like
first
the first
30
draft
years.
cup, the second draft cup, and the final cup.
Right. Well,
Okay.
they're Canadians and they're very
Things are
tolerant.
spelled differently.
Yeah, as like
There you go.
pizza parlor.
Pizza
I don't know
parlor
how they
and
spell it in
omelet.
Toronto.
And
So anyway, Nick, will you be renewing your season tickets?
I'm not sure yet. I want to,
Really?
but I want the time to do it.
Okay.
we didn't. Yeah, we missed so many games.
Oh, wow.
We
Okay.
give them away, and
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, you guys have a lot going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
probably
we'll see.
not because we're opening another store. So
Oh,
probably
well,
not.
well, speaking of that, we're going to get into that after the first break, I guess. We're going to
Yeah.
be talking about you don't just have your hand in the pizza and Italian food game, but you're also involved with another New
Machine.
York tradition,
Yep.
deli and bagels.
Yes.
And there's some
Yes.
exciting news with that. And
Oh,
but
wow.
we're going to be talking. We'll do that after the break. So let's take a word, and then we'll be back. Let's take a moment for these
Yes.
words, and we'll be back with Nick and Angelique at Stromboli's in West Boca after this. Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent. From a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar. A great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to batchsouthernkitchen.com. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, and also now with a new location on Las Olas Boulevard. Those are my spots. Upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. We are back on the Lunchbox, and it is a beautiful day here in West Boca.
Beautiful in here, beautiful on this
It's,
table.
instead of saying it's raining cats and dogs, now we're going to say it's raining rats and
And
cups.
cats, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So back here with Nick and Angelique, and man, what a feast we got going here! It is a beautiful display of classic New York pizzeria style pizzas of all stripes. thank you everybody for staying with us. I still see a bunch of you watching. And we're on the Lunchbox, and every day is an adventure, especially in the summertime in South Florida, as I learned last couple of weeks ago, because my house, became waterfront property again, and not just waterfront property, but waterfront inside too. I had a indoor pool for a while.
Yeah, you're east.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
east and dealing with the flood repairs again. Are we back in business? It looks like we're back in business. Okay, thank you, Lubie. So I want to get Nick back here because we want to talk about
always
some of the
running away.
other ventures. Yes, I know, but and then we didn't even get into the they got a chicken parmesan slice here. We got
Yeah.
a chicken
This
with
is the barbecue. This is half of a
barbecue.
slice.
That is
But-
yeah, that's with the like the little bit of a
Chicken
barbecue
and
sauce.
sweet barbecue sauce. It's literal. I mean, if you're not in the mood for like pizza, it's like barbecue.
Yeah.
Barbecue. We do barbecue wings. We do barbecue pizza. I like it with ranch.
I know, and my kid, I have an 18-year-old who's off at college now, and she goes for all these, like the
Yeah.
buffalo chicken pizza, the chicken barbecue pizza, God forbid, even the Hawaiian pizza.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Is that a sin or is that like we're missing out on life?
I almost crossed her name off out of all the insurance policies.
Oh
and the
my
way-
goodness. We see it. We see it come like when everybody's like
It's-
weird about making them.
I think it's
All
a,
the pizza guys are like,
it's
yeah.
a generational thing. The
It
kids
is,
are
yeah.
much less bound by all the old food rules,
Oh, yeah, they don't have
Yeah.
any food rules. They don't
and they try it. They see it on TikTok,
yeah. Well, this
and
is
they want to try it.
this is definitely. I mean, when one you have a big family, some of you guys want pizza and you don't want pizza. Well, this is like not.
Yeah.
It's not pizza. It's like barbecue. It's like going to
It's
a barbecue
pizza.
place.
It's on a flattened, piece
But
of the
it's-
dough with some cheese, but it's not a traditional pizza.
Not it
Yeah.
tastes-
Meanwhile, Lubie's going
it's
to town
awesome, but it's not.
on the calzone.
Well, because we had a
there.
calzone a few weeks back, my wife and I, and it was good, but it was a lot of ricotta cheese and it was minimal on the topping. So since then, we wanted to get back, and you guys really
This
have the perfect
looks-
mix of a little bit of everything.
This
And that's
looks-
what I think of in a calzone.
It looks bigger than many babies that are delivered.
I don't know why
It's
we
like 7
everything-
pounds, 3 ounces, right?
Everything we make is like
Large.
huge.
Which, because you know why? That's part of what we love about Strombolis. It's great
Yeah.
value where maybe you don't have the biggest appetite, but you get something
Yeah.
from here, and you're gonna have a meal for a couple of days.
Yeah.
At least get a dinner and a lunch, maybe a dinner and 2 lunches, and that's part of what makes the value here so freaking good.
It's funny though because when I work the counter, people look at the price and they're like, "Oh, that for a slice," and then we're like, "But it's like a
It's a jumbo
It's
slice.
a jumbo slice," and then when people start ordering crazy bunch of slices, we're like, "Wait, but our slices are this big." They're like, "Oh, like I can't eat all that," So it's a lot. It's a lot.
This
For what?
But the calzone here, I guess I'd like to put blindfold on people if you like give them this and a Chicago deep dish pizza. It's kind of the same concept. It's just like a cheese casserole. It's like a dough stuffed with cheese.
Yeah,
And I like this better because you got all kinds of the good ricotta and all
I love
that stuff.
ricotta.
So
Yeah,
it's
that's why I like the grandmas because
very impressive
ricotta.
calzone. Let's maybe take our second break and we'll try to find Nick as
He's-
Lubie is playing the role of Mike Mayo today. I'm glad he's off camera because he's
just chowing
got-
down.
he's got a ricotta mustache. It looks like the guy hasn't eaten for like
I would not have eaten that way on the camera, unlike you who do eat that way on the camera. I went to town. I love, I don't get calzones often, but when a calzone's really well made, it's hard for me to control.
Babe,
That
you
was
gotta
really
come
good.
sit with us.
All right, we're going to give him a second. We're going to take our second break. Oh, let me just first put in the good word about our friends at Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap in downtown Fort Lauderdale, 525 North Federal Highway. I pulled a move the other night. Before Game 7, I was with Val. She was in the mood for fried chicken. I was like, well, you want to just like get Instacart from Publix? She was like, no, I want to try the Batch fried chicken.
Nice.
The chicken and waffles. Go online, and it basically, usually they just do all the delivery. They have delivery service and also takeout. But I wanted to make some amendments to the order, so I kind of pulled out the bat phone and called somebody.
Oh
Nah,
my
you called Kevin?
goodness.
Oh, Brandon.
I called Brandon, and he had just left, but he put together an order for us and threw in some extras like the biscuits. But again, everything came, and we got the new Nashville hot chicken sandwich. And again, the heat level has risen because they originally had it on the menu and it needed to be dialed up, and now they are dialing it up. Really good chicken sandwich, and along with some of the fried chicken, we held the waffles. Usually it's chicken waffles, but that's on the brunch menu. Go in there, 525 North Federal Highway. They're open 7 days a week. They've got the great weekend brunch both on Saturday and Sunday. Great items in there. I like the shrimp and grits, and of course they have, like, during the brunch service, the shrimp eggs Benedict, spicy. They also have fried green tomatoes now on the menu. A new appetizer, new summer menu.
Oh, really? By itself?
Yeah, and they have blackened redfish with that corn grit cake is great. Go check them out. And 525 North Federal Highway, and they have free parking in the garage right next door. People sometimes miss that. Really easy. You get 4 hours free. Gives you plenty of time to go in there. And of course, Wednesday night is tonight, Whiskey Wednesday. They have all kinds of great deals on whiskey educational classes, and a portion of the proceeds goes to some local great charity outfits. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Batch, new Southern Kitchen and Tap.
This is Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. We're at Stromboli Pizza Kitchen in Boca Raton. It may be a tad bit rainy outside, but we're nice and cozy inside here. Angelique, Nick will be joining us once again here on Mike Mayo's Lunchbox from Stromboli Pizza Kitchen in Boca Raton.
Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. One of the best restaurants in Broward, J&C Oyster in downtown Hollywood. At 2035 Harrison Street, this place is fantastic and worth a drive. It's got creative, cutting-edge seafood and more with an Asian twist and gorgeous cocktails. Chefs Raheem Seeley and Monica Dominguez cut their teeth at some of Miami's best restaurants. Don't miss some of these fantastic dishes, including grilled oysters, fried chicken, and the Thai red curry crab. Open Wednesday through Sunday for dinner with daily happy hour and outdoor seating. Go to jncoyster.com for reservations and information. Tell them Mike Mayo's Lunchbox sent you. Are you looking for a good New York-style slice? How about lunch specials for under $9 that come with garlic rolls and a fountain drink? I'm talking about Stromboli Pizza Kitchen in the Fountains of Plantation, 801 South University Drive. Since 1987, it's been home to Brooklyn-style pies and slices, heroes and paninis, pastas, and all your Italian-American favorites. It's got the unpretentious vibe of the pizza places of my youth with daily specials, family dinners, outdoor seating, eat-in, carry-out, or delivery. Open 7 days a week. Go to strombolispizza.com to place your order today.
All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. Angelique, we're having fun. You know what? Anything could happen this week, and you just say, doesn't matter. We just won the Stanley Cup.
I know.
So, and it's funny how region, like, of course, I never played. I did play hockey growing up,
I
but
play roller hockey.
I haven't played for the Panthers. I haven't scored a goal for them. I'm not part of the team. In fact, for a while there, I was actively maybe not rooting for the team because of some run-ins I had with some management back in the days when I was a news writer. But now all is forgiven, all is forgotten.
Oh, yeah.
And I love this team. I love Matt Tkachuk. I love Barkov. And I got to put in a word. Last year, how many people were saying, oh, you know what? Tkachuk is really the captain. He should be the captain. And Barkov is going to lose the C. You kept hearing that.
Yep.
But let's give praise to Barkov because that's a guy, quiet, steady, effective leadership. And now we know why he didn't lose the C, because I guess in the locker room
and behind closed doors,
bringing it out. Yeah,
he's the guy. And
Yeah.
Kachuk is kind of the charismatic star,
He's the aggressive, old school hockey. You know, his
Yeah.
dad, same thing. You know, like
but Barkov held this glue together, was the one who kind of rallied, the team and used last year's loss as the fire and the fuel to, drive them all the way this year. And they were pretty outspoken at the beginning of the season that we're not going to be satisfied with anything less than a championship. And lo and behold, he led the way. So,
But do you think
props
the
to him.
Panthers is going to become the American team? Like everybody's
No,
going to be
everybody
No,
hates
no.
South Florida.
They've been so
if
weird
That's
when-
so annoying because if it was the Rangers, it
it'd
would
be a
have
big
been.
deal. Oh yes,
It would've
everyone would have
been.
been like America versus Canada.
Exactly.
Yeah, no.
So when do we?
The rest of the country. Okay, let me explain a couple of things. I don't want to mansplain. I'm just going to give
Just-
some opinions.
Okay.
Yes, give an opinion.
You're not gonna be
People
able-
hate South Florida because we have nice weather year round. Okay, it gets a little hot and stormy sometimes in the summer, but it gets pretty hot all over the
Everywhere.
country.
I know.
yes.
And then when they come down here in January and they come see their team, the Boston people, the New York people come during their winter breaks and come see a hockey game at the arena. They're just resentful as hell because it's like, oh my God, it's so nice down here. I wish we
Yeah.
could live here year round. And for whatever
They're
reason, they
just
think
jealous.
that we're bad fans, but we're not. There's been some really hardcore hockey
Well,
fans.
Yeah, but there's a lot of fans that were jumping ship after the 3 losses.
Not me. Okay, here's the thing. I bought some merch last week at the Pantherland East
Yeah.
Side. They gave us these little yard signs that says "Go Panthers," playoffs. I planted that sign before game. It must have been game 5. And through the losses
So
of
in the
game
losses, you
5 and
planted it.
6 and 7,
Where other people
not,
were taking
not
it down.
once did I waver, because that would
Okay.
be bad luck. That would be the ultimate in fickle fandom.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Both teams gotta win 4 games. Nobody has done that either.
Yeah. I thought they were going to win the first 4. I told Nick on the way to the first game that they were going to win all 4, and then
It was
I don't think you're right.
it was shocking.
I was shocked.
But I
was
didn't
like,
want to
"Oh,
be one of
no."
those fair weather fans. I left the sign planted, and now I look like a genius because
Yeah.
they're,
Yeah, you were
they're-
right.
They are the champions, and it's just something that a region can embrace, and the rest of the country, because Canada hates us because even though they come here during the winter,
Exactly.
I know.
Exactly.
and then the rest of the country, they just even when UM was winning in college football, people hated UM.
Mhm.
Yeah.
When the Heat was winning
The
and
Heat?
LeBron was here, they were hating on the Heat.
But I
And
feel like people embrace the Heat more than they embrace
People
other
down
teams.
here.
yeah,
the
the Panthers,
Panthers
I
and the Dolphins.
Yeah.
But for some reason, New York teams people can get behind.
Yeah. You know what? I've been down here long enough where I've ditched my New York allegiances. In the Rangers Panthers series, I was rooting for the Panthers
Yeah.
because I wanted to see something I'd never seen before. I'd seen the
Yeah.
Rangers win a cup. Of course, it was 30 years ago also,
Yeah.
but I'd never seen the Panthers win a cup, and now we have. So we can all die in peace, as we used to say. And we used to say in New
well,
York.
hopefully the first of many.
Yes, and they hopefully bringing back the whole nucleus, and hopefully get some people signed like Reinhardt, and we'll go from there. But
Yeah.
all right, Nick, I guess is tending to some other emergency
Equipment,
business. But let's talk
service.
about, I guess, something he did wanted to discuss, which is not the pizza game, but the deli game. And once we're on this New York centric
You
food,
know what else? Pizza and bagels.
Yeah.
but you guys are involved with our friend Goldberg, Mark Goldberg, at the
Yes.
deli that's now in Fort Lauderdale on East Oakland Park Boulevard, and you work there a lot. You're in there.
I'm the hostess with the mostest on Saturdays and Sundays. I work there. It's awesome. I love the atmosphere. I can't believe how successful the location is, and we're opening up a second location.
That's right. You have announced that you've gotten, procured a space
Yes.
that is should be well known to Lunchbox fans because it's the same plaza in Fort Lauderdale. In the 5600 block of North Federal Highway that our friend Kui and Kaizen,
I love that.
and that used to be a Colombian restaurant next door. They went out, and I understand that you guys, along with Mark Goldberg, have taken over that property. It's now in your control,
Yes.
and you're building a second Goldberg's.
A second Goldberg. So we have you covered for breakfast. We have you covered for lunch, and we'll have you covered for dinner because we'll have a deli too. An Italian deli.
an
Oh,
Italian-
nice.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. An
so that
A&S.
plaza is going to be kind of sprouting up
I know.
all kinds of good stuff besides the sushi next door with
Yeah.
Kaizen.
Maybe
You're
like
going to
wait.
have the bagels, the deli, the sandwiches, the matzo ball soup, and then also a good cold cuts and a gabagol and the
Exactly.
prosciutto and all that
Yeah.
mozzarella, and that's a winning combo in my book.
Yeah.
So
100%.
mazel tov, as they
Yes,
said in my neighborhood.
mazel tov.
Yeah, we're excited. We're definitely excited.
Where ETA, I guess you got to do a little bit of a build out and doing some things. And,
Yeah, I'm actually going to pick some materials today after I leave here. I would say end of August, beginning of September. I
really?
think, yeah.
Okay.
Before season.
Ambitious, yes. Hopefully,
Yeah,
we'll
well,
get
I mean
things-
that's what
Yeah,
we do.
yeah.
That's what my husband does for a living is build out restaurants. So
Right.
it's something you can
and
do.
it's just a
yeah.
matter of hopefully all the permitting and all
Yeah.
the stuff with the city
Yeah.
gets falls into place pretty easily. But
Yeah.
again, so that's coming soon. Now, it's relatively close to the other one, but you just think there's enough of a demand on the east side of Fort Lauderdale there
Yeah, I
to
mean,
support?
Goldberg's now is slammed.
Oh,
It's slammed, especially on weekends. It's crazy. So I do think so. It'll be more of a takeout. And then I think we're gonna expand the actual dining room of the Oakland Park location or East Fort Lauderdale location.
Yeah.
But mostly takeout. It'll
And-
be mostly takeout. No table service, no waitresses.
okay.
But yeah, there's the demand's there, which is it's crazy because everybody said that the spot had a omen over it or whatever. It was a
because it had been
cursed
so many
spot.
things. The one on East Oakland Park, people were saying that it was one of those jinxed.
It was jinxed. Yeah.
And I don't
Are
believe
they
in
going to
jinxes.
survive?
I think
No,
it's a
and-
matter of when you get the right thing and the right fit, people
Yeah.
will come.
Well,
And
Mark Goldberg and Nick were definitely a great fit.
that's
they-
good. Yeah, because the bagels are great. And
The
again,
bagels
I
are
know,
awesome.
Mark Goldberg, because he's also involved in a deli that's his, in my neck of the woods.
Yeah.
And so it's nice that you guys are killing it, as they
Yeah.
say in the business. And I didn't know, because that neighborhood,
Well-
there's not a lot of New Yorker. Well,
No, there is.
I'll just say it, Jewish people. It's
No,
like
it is.
there
It
is.
is,
Oh,
yeah.
Well, the east side of town over there.
A lot of
yeah.
a lot of people, and it's a familiar name. I mean, a lot of people have homes in the Hamptons,
Right.
home in East Fort Lauderdale.
because the Goldberg's name is
So,
renowned in Long Island. 'cause
Yeah,
they have-
Lighthouse Point. I mean, that whole it's not that far from
Huge.
there.
Yeah. I mean, I did not know.
Right by the sea.
Didn't know. But my husband, he was like, I'm gonna open up a bagel store with Mark Goldberg. I'm like, what? I'm like, no. And then we signed the lease, and then I read the article that it was like a cursed location, and it was a deli before. The same thing. It was a deli
Well,
before
Brown
we took
Dog
it over.
Eatery, and then before that was an Italian restaurant. Before
Yeah,
that,
but it was a deli that did the same basically the same menu. But
oh, that's right. For a
Yeah.
second, it was called Craft Bistro. Yeah, and
yes,
my late friend Norm Kent was involved. His, one of his companions was the general manager there, and
Yeah.
that one again.
it scared
just,
me.
Yeah,
But yeah, in September it will be a year since we've opened.
but Kraft didn't do their own bagels, and
no, yeah, we do our own bagels.
once you can bake a good product and have a good bagel, that's going to
Yeah.
get some people in the doors, and that's
Yeah.
what you guys have done.
Yeah.
So congrats on that.
Thank you.
Congrats on number 2, and that means like we'll never see you again because you're going to be so busy.
I know. It's
What's it
insane.
like being a hostess of a restaurant now? Because you follow the Let's Eat South Florida group.
Oh my
We see some horror
gosh.
stories of on both sides. Some people that don't get, I guess, the best in service when they go out as a restaurant patron. But on the opposite side, the way some people in the business have to deal with people who are, I'm going to use the word entitled, where just people have no real clue in terms of grace or social manners or etiquette. And they just think, I want everything now because
Oh.
the world revolves around me.
So I couldn't believe how great, like how nice everybody was and how well we were received in that area. So it's really nice, but there is two extremes. There's people that are so happy we're there and are so nice and just love the food. And then there's people who just come in and they treat you like absolute garbage.
Really?
Yeah. My
Unsolicited.
husband, I have to be there on the weekends because we can't staff that position because nobody can handle it. We can't subject anybody to the abuse that sometimes happens at that front door, especially when we have, parties, 6 parties waiting at all times, and it's a 40-minute wait.
I feel bad at places where, look, you're a grown woman, adult, but some of these places put like teenagers as hostesses. My daughter did some of that at the other place near me over the spring semester, and she would tell me some horror stories about the way she got treated, and some people
horrific.
burst into tears. Like if they get berated, people just be.
I won't even put my own child.
Right, for the hostess, I think that's such a weird place to go.
People will argue. Yeah.
Who blames the hostess?
I know. People
especially at 11 o'clock.
We were in Las
Sunday.
Vegas for the Pizza Expo show back in April, I believe.
Yeah.
We went to Peter Luger's Steakhouse in the Paris Hotel, and this guy was beating this poor girl up,
screaming.
Mentally, like the girl was in tears.
Yeah.
I went and got the manager. Listen, look, this girl is 100%. She's great. This guy's abusing her.
Don't seat him.
I says, don't seat the guy. Throw him out because the guy could get in a problem.
Nice.
I gave the girl a $50 tip just for being sweet to the guy.
Nice.
She was very nicer than I would ever have been in my life. And I told the guy
Was horrible.
on the side, you don't deserve to eat in this restaurant. I told the guy.
Wow. Yeah, it's Peter Luger's. It's a really nice place.
Now, a lot of people won't be the third man in and like get
good for
involved,
you.
but you're in the industry.
That's impressive.
Did the guy back away?
Yeah, of course he did.
Because
He
some
backed
people
away.
say
He backed away and
then
says,
They weren't going to seat
He
him.
wasn't.
They weren't going to. The manager came out, and the manager wasn't going to seat him. But then he completely turned into like a sad puppy that was super sorry for the way that he was treating
Are you
her,
kidding
and
me?
then he victimized himself. But he was.
I have my theories.
Oh my gosh!
I think that people who are more successful in life and maybe have made more money feel like they can do that to people. And I don't know.
He was a younger, probably in his 30s. Yeah, he wasn't.
Was he a bro?
Really?
Yeah,
he
he
was like a
was-
young bro.
He was a schmo.
Yeah,
not
he
a
was.
bro.
He was a
Yeah.
schmo. He was a schmo.
But I deal with it a lot. Like I deal with.
I have socks older than that guy.
Yeah, great. Ew. I deal with it a lot. But for the most, I can't believe it. I mean, it used to be like so nice to just go out to a restaurant and take your family out to a
people
restaurant.
would be in a mood like, okay, if I gotta wait a couple minutes, it just seems
You don't
like
have to
something
cook or
changed
clean.
during the
Yeah.
pandemic.
Exactly.
It's a win.
And again, during the
Exactly.
pandemic, restaurants were so grateful and bent over backwards to accommodate everybody and try to get them in or do the the takeout in a way that was safe.
I remember during COVID when the first day of restaurants opened up, me and my wife and my little daughter.
We went to
Juliana,
Flanagan's.
We went to Flanagan's in Boca off Federal. And I was so grateful to sit down in a restaurant.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
Everybody's smiling.
They were
We would
nice
have
to
made our
us.
own food.
I just sat there. I'm like, wow, is this for real?
Yeah.
So
you
gotta
appreciate it. You
that.
get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
No,
our
and-
restaurants, we give people the best service, the best food, but you can't abuse people. You
No.
gotta be
And if it
considerate.
takes,
And there's
if it's Sunday morning at prime time, everything is situational.
Yeah, what do you think?
You gotta understand
And your guy place gets
that things are
slammed.
gonna
It
get
gets slammed
backed up.
for 2
Goldberg's,
hours.
wherever I go, I always hear people, and it's funny, and I
Yeah.
just smile. They're like, "Have you been to Goldberg's yet?" And I'll just listen to people over here. Oh my God, I was at Goldberg's. I'm like,
Yeah.
good for you. Like you
There's
guys are
people-
killing it. Like
There's
We
people
got a good
taking-
restaurant.
There's
But
people
what do you
taking
expect?
pictures of themselves with the sign. Like it's very eye opening. I can't believe
Sunday
it.
morning, prime brunch time, you
Yeah.
might have to wait 20 to 30 minutes for a table. That's
Ex-
just the way
exactly.
it is.
And it's only for
Don't
two
take it out
for
on the
2
hostess.
hours
Yeah.
during
And
the
I help them.
weekend.
And my wife
that
and
it's
I,
just
we have
insane.
4 busboys. We're cleaning the tables too.
I'm
I
cleaning
want to,
too,
I want to,
yeah.
I want to, I want to bounce those tables out.
Yeah, you're one of those
Yeah.
hands-on guys.
And you
You're
guys
not afraid
move.
to get your hands dirty.
But
You're
people,
going to touch the
people
tables
will
and literally
sit on top of
bust the
people.
tables.
Like
Really?
they don't.
They sit down with dirty tables.
Parties waiting out the door. Have been waiting for 30
Just
minutes.
jump in.
I
People
love
will
South
come
Florida,
in
boy.
and
I
sit
love-
down. That table's empty.
but it's
And I'm
dirty.
like, it's
It's like New Yorkers when they see a parking spot, they just like
Man, they
jump into it. They
dive.
don't even
I'm
like,
like,
ask.
oh my gosh, I've never experienced it, but
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very
and then
grateful.
you have to say no. There's somebody waiting. And you
Yeah.
have to go over there.
Yeah, but
that's-
sometimes
I don't envy you.
Sometimes people are not there, and then people will lie. They'll say, "But we have a reservation."
She has
And
a
I'm
tough
like,
job.
we don't take reservations.
here.
And like Father's
Reservation
Day,
at a
people
deli,
were
a bagel.
yeah, people were like, "Oh, we had a reservation," or "We called in," and it's they'll try to get it over on me. I don't know if they think like I'm a young kid. Oh,
Right.
some people are like, oh, what college are you at? Down from college or something?
No, good
I'm
for
like,
you.
I'm like, ooh, I'll see you right away. But I'm like, what?
We had Bob Bocamper in Monday.
Oh wow.
He
Okay.
came and hang out with us. He was eating lunch.
Kim Boca?
Kim Boca.
Kim.
Yeah, great dolphin
Yep,
player,
legend.
big
He
Well,
was-
there's Bobby
restaurant.
Brzezinski too, so I was like, which one? It could be
Yeah,
one of them.
Kim's a great guy.
Kim's great.
He was
Kim's a really good dude.
He was appreciated.
There's a lot of football
good.
players coming there. A lot
Yeah.
of good people.
And I bet you they're
Joey
well
Bosa
behaved.
came
That's
in.
the funny thing. Oh, Bosa, really?
Yeah.
And again, I
Yeah.
bet you they
Super
actually are
nice.
well behaved.
Oh,
They're not the
but
jerks.
the majority, but I'm like the majority of people are, especially in that they're lovely people.
Okay.
They're all kind. We have regulars that they'll come for breakfast and they'll come back for lunch.
Oh,
they,
wow.
know,
Day.
they know the deal. Like we have a large following in
Yeah.
such a short period
Yep,
of time.
That's great.
But
yeah.
you'll get random crazy people. Like I've had people throw table. Like the guy was shaking and throwing a table at me because the table was wobbling and he treating me like I was dumb. And I never experienced that, but it makes me super sensitive to the way that I treat
treat
people
people.
like you try to tell them the golden rule: just treat people like you want
Yeah.
to be treated, and then you realize, oh, those
They
people
don't mind
treat
it.
themselves that same way.
They think I'm the busboy.
Yeah.
I laugh.
Yeah.
But
I'm
even
okay
if,
with it.
but
Nah,
I was
I'm the
gonna
busboy.
say, even if
Yeah.
you are like,
Yeah.
you should
there's
treat
It's
everyone
a
the
very
same.
humbling
Like, you don't know who anyone's gonna be or
Yeah.
who they are.
details.
You're the freaking owners.
Very humbling
Like,
experience.
you can kick them out.
Again,
Yeah.
I am so glad
I try
never
not to
got-
tell anybody when I'm
Yeah.
out there. I let them kind of hang
Yeah.
themselves, and then
Right.
I'll be like, oh
And then
well, I'm the owner, and
eventually-
you don't do that.
Eventually, they realize how foolish they sound. Now,
Yeah.
sometimes I get hangry, but I check myself
You
and say, you know what,
cannot.
I can't. Yeah.
You
Can't
like
take it out.
don't wait until you're starving to
Yeah,
go
that's on
into a
you.
busy restaurant.
Yeah.
Because then
Then you
you're
overeat, and then you start
You're
snapping
hangry.
at people.
And then you're
I do find it funny,
hangry.
like at 9 in the morning or 10 in the morning on a Saturday.
Yeah.
I need a table. It's 10 in the morning on a Saturday in South
Yeah.
Florida.
You're
Like,
not.
hello.
Yeah. And we're expanding the dining room because we want to be able to see.
Yeah, comes October, November,
everybody.
we'll have another 30,
We-
40
we
seats.
Oh, wow.
want
That's at the
waitress-
Oakland Park.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
great.
Oakland
Park.
And
Nice.
you already have a nice size facility there,
It is.
inside and
It is,
outside.
yeah.
So that's going to increase the capacity.
Yeah.
How much? Like 100.
We'll probably have another 30 seats,
Okay, so that's
40
good.
seats.
And then
And-
hopefully we can get waitresses for outside.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
staffing is a problem. People don't think that it is a problem. No matter
Especially-
what you
it's
pay,
so seasonal.
it's a problem.
And while you were attending to some business, Angelique was talking about the new location.
On the
and,
location, yes.
and when do you think it's going to be open? She was
Or-
saying September, maybe.
September, October.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
We're in planning and zoning. That we're getting our permits ready, and we'll start doing all our construction.
And everybody in Lauderdale, they want to be open by the time the boat show is here because there's
Yep.
so many people.
We're gonna have
around
a
for the
real
boat
Italian
show.
deli.
Yep.
And we're gonna have another Goldberg's next.
Italian deli.
A&S.
A&S.
Oh, will we? Nice.
A&S.
Not to be confused with something else in Boca with also an
Oh,
NS. but
A&S.
what does A&S stand for?
Years ago, my dad's store was called Anthony and Sons.
Oh, interesting.
So
It was a market up
Yes.
in New York.
it was down here. It was
Oh, it was here.
Pine Island and 44.
That's right. We talked about this,
Sunrise.
and
So-
that's great. So it's a
Can't-
tribute to your dad.
Yes.
Fantastic.
So we'll have deli in there, bakery. We'll have Italian bread pastries. We'll have groceries, all prepared foods. Just all prepared foods in there.
Nice. Fantastic.
And we'll have our Goldberg's deli. It's gonna be the same spot.
So again, people, if they're in the mood for a pastrami and a matzo ball soup one day and some
Meatballs and-
bagels, one
Meatballs
side-
and matzo balls.
meatballs
There
and
you
matzo
go.
balls. There's
We'll have
a-
all that.
I hear a marketing slogan right
Yeah.
there. Beautiful.
Yeah.
So
All right,
Coming
A&S
soon.
Deli
Yeah,
and
that's
another
you're gonna beat the
Goldberg's
season. That's
coming
amazing.
to 5600 block of North Federal Highway there in Fort Lauderdale. It's going to be fantastic. All right, let's take our final break, and then we'll wrap up this edition of the Lunchbox after these words. Best restaurants in South Florida? Casa D'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First-class dining, top-flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good, with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended. For a special occasion or any occasion, Casa D'Angelo.
Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. If you're looking for an exquisite sushi experience, Kaizen Sushi Bar and Grill in Fort Lauderdale is the place to go. 5640 North Federal Highway, just north of Commercial Boulevard. Chef owner Hui Lam, he's a sushi savant, slicing and serving pristine fish and seafood flown in directly from Japan and around the world. Nigiri, sashimi, special rolls, and omakase dinners. He's ruined me from going anywhere else. It's that good. Open 7 days for dinner and also for lunch. Even if you're not a sushi fan, they have great cooked options, including steaks, chops, rice and noodles, and other Japanese dishes. It's fantastic. For reservations and information, go to kaizenflorida.com. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk, and soon in Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays with their $4 premium tacos, including their new burrito tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo the Lunchbox sent you. Prezzo Italian Restaurants. 2 locations, Boca Raton at Park Place on Military Trail, and Palm Beach Gardens in the PGA Commons on PGA Boulevard. Contemporary Italian cuisine with house-made pastas, wood-fired pizzas, salads, veal, chicken, and of course their famous focaccia bread with oven-roasted garlic bulbs. In Garlic We Trust is their slogan, and you can trust Prezzo for a great experience with gracious service and tremendous value. Open 7 days, featuring brunch, lunch, dinner, and happy hour. Great wine deals and full bar at both locations. For reservations and more information, go to eatprezzo.com.
We're back on the Lunchbox, and we got through it. It's almost an hour, and we're gonna, gonna put this one in the bin, and we're gonna replay it because it's this place deserves to get as much attention as possible. You guys are doing it right. I was just chomping on this meatball hero during.
I know he's
every
so-
time he's like,
He doesn't believe it.
really good. And you guys have
He thinks
enough
I'm-
going on.
He thinks I'm lying.
Well, you just have like 12 things going on.
I know
so
it
it's
goes
like the
into
fact that you're
baking
making
bread,
too,
and
like-
it's a labor-intensive, time-intensive process, and the space also. Place like this, but man,
this is a
reminds
big
me.
kitchen. This one,
This you got a bigger
we got a
kitchen.
I
big
think it's bigger than
kitchen.
the
Yeah,
actual-
way bigger.
No, this semolina again. People call it a sub roll, hoagie roll. No, this is a hero. Okay,
Yes.
HERO, and it's heroic. The way that this thing eats, the way I eat, it's not so heroic. But the beautiful semolina with the sesame seeds on top. This is the hero of my dreams, meatball parm.
Eat it,
That's
man.
what I grew up with. Maybe we'll go out with a big bite on this one, and we'll see everybody a little bit later on. We're going to be doing a double header today at Social Hour at Corvina in Boca Raton with our friend Eddie P. And again, there you got 50% off from 5 menu. The whole what do we got? The bar tab too, but that's later. Right now, we're going to finish off today with a big bite.
Meatball palm.
Thanks to Nick. Thanks to Angelique.
Congratulations
Daughters
to
can
that.
start high school. We've got the 2 daughters. One got little. She's
It's
the
a fake,
kachuk. She's the kachuk.
Exactly.
Of
It's a
the,
fake Band-Aid. She just
Maltese
likes
family
Band-Aids.
there. All right, here we go. Everybody enjoy every.
Oh man.
Holy mackerel. Look at
Oh
this.
my God. You're in front of children. You're supposed to be setting a good
Oh,
example.
mommy, look.
Oh,
Look.
jeez. Do not eat that way.
Do not eat this way, Gigi
eat
or
that
Juliana.
way.
For a pizza nearest you.